Quotation Tyson, Neil deGrasse. There are galaxies in the dark ages that shouldn't exist, so what's wrong? Are our theories or the facts incorrect? One major issue has surfaced. The James Webb Space Telescope is revealing to us that there are objects in the observable universe that are older than the universe itself. In the images captured by the telescope, we see rows and rows of galaxies that, according to the old standard models of physics and cosmology, must have formed long before the Big Bang. This means that there is a flaw in the system, and perhaps everything we believed about the universe and everything we calculated is incorrect. Anyone who enjoys the cosmos, the infinite mysteries of the universe, and the science that surrounds these mysteries is living in an exciting time because, for the first time, we have so much evidence that many of our long-held beliefs are incorrect. The Webb telescope is clearly revealing things that, in accordance with these theories, should not exist. We are also at the start of a new era, and it is possible that our understanding of science and matter will completely shift once more. JWST 130 is the official name of the oldest galaxy found by the James Webb Space Telescope. One of the oldest and most distant galaxies known to science, this galaxy was found as part of the JWST Advanced Deep Extragalactic Survey, or JADES for short. Through this program, scientists are attempting to investigate the universe as it was for the first 100 million years following the Big Bang. Previously believed to be the Big Bang, it is actually a miracle or a silly coincidence that we're able to observe the universe as it was before this long-time light takes time to travel through space. And today, thanks to advanced technologies such as the James Webb Telescope, we can see light that has been traveling through the universe for millions or billions of years with our telescopes. We always see an imprint of the past. Even the light from our nearest stellar neighbors takes years or decades to reach us. So is it a stroke of luck that we can see galaxies like JADES GS Z13Z and are therefore able to understand the origins of the universe and explore these distant times? But perhaps the universe is constructed in this way precisely because we are supposed to explore it, and perhaps it's the universe itself that has created itself in this way. If this is the case, then the universe is playing a trick on our researchers. Or it is saying, hey, you didn't look very closely. Perhaps some intelligence in space is now making fun of all the Earthlings who, like Neil deGrasse Tyson, are thinking so hard these days about the cosmos, its beginning, and the development of matter galaxies in the dark era that can't be. Let's take a moment to consider how scientists have imagined the universe up to now. There is supposed to be a single starting point at which an undefined potential was formed in one fell swoop that was the Big Bang. Since then, the universe has been expanding into something that is said to have simply been an indeterminate nothingness before the birth of the universe. The universe is space, and space grows as the universe expands after the Big Bang. The universe was a dark, impenetrable place until a point in time known as reionization, when a change in the molecular structure finally made the universe permeable to light. This point in time coincides with the birth of the first stars in galaxies, because it was the first stars that ionized the surrounding hydrogen gas and thus illuminated the universe. Previous calculations have shown that the universe must have been almost 1 billion years old at this point, but the galaxy. The first depth pictures of the Webb revealed an astounding number of ancient galaxies, like JADES GZ130, which existed approximately 330 million years after the Big Bang. As Neil deGrasse Tyson stated, some researchers believe that after the first measurement results, the new telescope was defective. However, as the truth came out, more and more research groups were able to confirm the results, and a check also showed that the telescope was working perfectly. The universe was brightly lit at a supposedly dark time, and possibly inhabited by as many galaxies as it is today. Since these shocking truths, we've had a major crisis in cosmology. Researchers who have long doubted the Big Bang welcome the new facts, while others are on the verge of despair because Webb keeps discovering bizarre things in the universe. Although the existence of these galaxies has not yet been formally confirmed, we can be certain that the galaxy JWST Z140 is not the oldest galaxy in the universe. According to some research groups, galaxies with ZV values of 20 and possibly even a little more have been discovered. The galaxy JWST existed 290 million years after the Big Bang. Other amazing discoveries were brought to light by JWST. The galaxy is more than 1,600 light-years across, and young stars, not a superhuge black hole, are what give it its brightness. According to the old cosmological worldview, the first galaxies should be untamed star clusters rather than perfectly structured galaxies. So this observation is intriguing because the galaxy appears to contain a large number of young stars, but there are too many of them, and they are too intricately structured for us to see actual baby galaxies. Because intricate structures like spirals, disks, spheres, and other forms are purportedly formed by many mergers of smaller star clusters, academics are presented with an intractable issue when it comes to shape in particular. JWST is at least as young or old as its sister galaxy, and proves that there are still more old galaxies out there. This raises the question of what researchers will do with all these results at the moment, as they are still investigating them. The age of the galaxies must be independently confirmed by several research groups before the discovery can be considered official and real. Some scientists have already worked on new explanatory models and presented revisions of old theories. As soon as researchers have come to terms with this shock, the next impossible galaxy candidate appears. Canadian researcher Rendra Gupta has possibly demonstrated that the universe could also be 26.7 billion years old. If we modify a few values and allow for the dynamics of Newtonian physics, others, such as the researcher John Mather, who is also the project leader of the entire James Webb mission, believe that the explanation lies in an earlier formation of stars. Ma is of the opinion that we need to correct our picture of when the first stars and galaxies were formed. But can it really be that the universe practically shot stars into space in a massive birth and then organized them perfectly? We know of so-called starburst galaxies, which produce very large numbers of stars in an extremely short time. But these galaxies are physical exceptions and cannot have been the mathematical standard in the early universe either. This leaves the idea that the universe is infinite and that there was never a beginning. But how did researchers come up with the Big Bang? By and large, we have two researchers to thank for the old standard picture of the cosmos. The American Edwin Hubble and the Belgian George L. Hubble researched the first newly discovered galaxies in the 1920s. That was just as an exciting time as we are experiencing again today. Before that, mankind thought that the Milky Way was the universe. It must have been shocking to suddenly see beyond the edges of the Milky Way, with ever-improving telescopes, and discover more and more galaxies there. The world changed abruptly. Even then, Hubble studied the newly discovered galaxies and was astonished to discover that galaxies further away from us were moving away from us at a very specific speed. This is how Hubble first discovered the expansion of the universe. The Belgian priest and researcher Latre already found evidence that the universe was created by an event and is not infinite. He put one and one together and came up with the idea that the universe has been drifting apart since the Big Bang and is therefore getting bigger and bigger. How long ago this Big Bang occurred was calculated several times, and the figure was also corrected several times. However, it's always been in the order of 13 to 13. 8 billion years we may have made a mistake here. Other methods are also feasible, according to Rendra Gupta's calculation, and science now needs to confront these novel concepts. As a result, a century ago, we saw a revolution akin to the one we are currently going through, and this upheaval is most likely not the last one that science will go through. Who knows how many people will see or experience the universe in another 100 or 1,000 years, and will we ever know the whole truth? While some scientists are certain that the cosmos can be fully described and understood in terms of physics and mathematics, others think that the universe is so flexible and amazing that we could never use our scientific methods to force it into particular frames or formulas. Webb's observations suggest that the universe contains additional, as yet undiscovered forms of matter or energy. It's also possible that physical phenomena and quantities alter over time. If this is the case, our chances of comprehending the universe through measurements and numbers are slim. But we still have to investigate space as we currently see it, and as objectively as we can. Our science has now hit a dead end, but we will eagerly continue to track the dawning of a whole new era. Subscribe to the channel today to be included in every new film.